Hi Sagittarius, this is your March 2025 reading, but we're going to go beyond March and bring this reading into April. I really just want to look at the 6-week eclipse season portal for you. That actually began back in February, on the 27th of February, around the new moon in Pisces. We've just had a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Virgo. You're probably feeling that because Virgo is a mutable sign just like you. But the fiery eclipse at the end of the month is still to come. And I actually think that that's going to be a massive breath of fresh air for your sign, Sagittarius. So with all that being said, let's look at the end of February all the way through to the middle of April now for your sign. I have in reverse the 6 of Swords, reversed the 4 of Wands, Page of Coins, 4 of Cups, 4 of Swords. So you are being gently stirred back into life again, back into movement, back into action, and the Virgo full moon lunar eclipse looks like it took it out of you, or at least the end of February moving into the month of March was a time that you hopefully were able to prioritize some rest. Here we have you though, Temperance energy coming through, yet to happen, yet to emerge, you fully embodying the sort of rejuvenated Sagittarius energy that you're about to step into. And I really think that that's going to start to become more and more apparent for you as we get closer to the solar eclipse new moon in fire sign Aries on the 29th of March. I also have the World, the 6 of Coins, the 10 of Wands, and the Hermit. So the Hermit card is associated with Virgo. It tells me that you haven't finished reflecting or adjusting to, and I'm not surprised there, it just happened that we're just past the Virgo full moon eclipse. But it tells me that you're still going to be integrating so much of what has recently been revealed to you or what you've recently become interested in over, I would say, like the next 8-9 weeks. Okay, let's get into this card by card, and if this reading ends up resonating with you, I'm going to leave an extended version down below where I'll pull another 10 cards and an archetype card and go even deeper into these messages. But for now, let's just take it card by card. You're still in the midst of a certain setback and a certain kind of feeling or actual happening of some sort of a door closing on you. It feels like you're missing opportunities, you're missing the boat, you're just missing your moment, or you're wondering, 6 of Swords in reversal, have I missed an opportunity now that I can't revisit or get back to? It seems like right now in the present moment there is a lot to do with setbacks, delays, and the 4 of Wands in the reversal suggests some sort of a missed opportunity to seal a deal or to make something happen. This door that appears to be closing, or you kind of are sort of in, one of these imaginary realms where you're running and running to, like, in Aladdin, and you're trying to get into the is it a cave, the cave of wonders, but so slowly, or you're trying to get out or into somewhere and the door is just closing right before your very eyes. You might feel a little bit like that though on a more mundane level, that some sort of window of opportunity is narrowing for you at this time. A lot of the times eclipses have that energy of rerouting us, and I think I'm referring to something that astrologer Chris Brennan is known to say around eclipses. It's something to the effect of when doors close, let's say, or I think he may say something like, if we're rerouted, we usually end up on a path that we may not ordinarily have traveled or ventured to take before. only to find out somewhat down the line, 4 months later, 6 months later, or even beyond that, that this is exactly where we were meant to be, in a sense. So even if you think some sort of a window of opportunity is narrowing at this time, there might be something deeper beyond all of these setbacks and delayed missed opportunities and just a lack of potentially flow for you at this time. People are hard to pin down, people are hard to get a hold of, to arrange something with. You might have noticed that just recently trips have been cancelled, or stuck in traffic a lot, or just feeling stuck, feeling like when is your chance, a kind of a situation here. And the Four of Wands might also suggest something that is really hard for you to make solid in your life. So you might be feeling like, I don't know if it's something to do with the launch, if it's something to do with being made full time, or some sort of a guarantee, something in your professional or career world, something at your job, or something at your home and living situation can be the Four of Wands too, where it's really hard to just clinch this or just make it secure, make it concrete, and that just something keeps seeming to evade you at this time, Sagittarius. So I bet that that's frustrating. And before I look at what's going on consciously, which is more optimistic than what's happening in the subconscious is starting to sulk a little bit with the Four of Cups. There can be a stagnation in the emotional part of your psyche at this point, or in your emotional body right here. And I mean, I don't blame you. The Four of Cups is very much like a yearning, or a forlorn, or a looking beyond, and sort of it's not even wishful thinking, because there's even a lack of optimism there. There's a sort of dwelling, there's a kind of a resigning to this not being or feeling good, or I guess there is a lack of libido, momentum. And of course, I'm not talking about like the Freudian kind of libido. I'm doing it a little bit more, the Jung kind of, or libido, like the chi, right? That you're losing, it seems like at least, that you're losing this kind of drive and motivation, because maybe there is a wondering what's the point. But then the Temperance card is here, and it's so refreshing and wonderful to see the opportunity for alignment has not, I knew it hadn't evaded you, and I think you know that much more deeply than anybody else could know that for you, right? And it's just a mood, it's a funk. 3 fours in the reading after all. Four of Wands, Four of Cups, Four of Swords. When we see a lot of fours in a reading, it just suggests a time of, okay, stability, rest, monotony at times, or stagnation. That kind of just translates, and especially to a Sagittarian energy like yourself, to like, this is boring, this is not exciting, this is not moving. When I read for clients, I have noticed that if a lot of fours come up in a reading, they've either come from a period of like moving cities, or they're or something really life-changing and something that took a lot out of them energetically, or just was hectic. And the alternative can be, if a lot of fours emerge in a reading, I get this impression, and it's kind of been validated back to me in retrospect, that there was something in the pipeline that was going to require a solid foundation. The fours are very robust in terms of like giving you something ready, like making you ready, making you prepared mentally, making you feel well rested. So you seem well rested at the least, and it is in preparation for things to really begin to pick up again for you. And I think that's around that eclipse, the second eclipse in Aries, that's coming up at the end of the month. Meanwhile, though, you're starting to get these breadcrumbs or ideas around what it might be that is picking your interest next, and what you're going to do about it. The Page of Coins is the beginning of a journey of new experience. And I think that is what is been set here on the stage for you, Sagittarius. You're starting to want to study something different, you're wanting to teach, you're wanting to formulate a body of work, or write, or create something. But something, it might be in work, it might be with a personal goal or project, something is starting to drop into you on a very conscious level. The Page of Coins is a beginner energy. They can be a bit more novice, but not brand new either. I think that this might have been something either you did when you were younger or you had interest in at one point, but maybe the timing wasn't right. You're starting to feel like it might be time to revisit that. Now that's on a conscious level, but meanwhile in the subconscious there is still this, well, let's call it a mood or a funk of some sort. There's a dwelling on something, and I think that that has to be possibly just a process for you emotionally, coming to terms with that, or I think acceptance, because fours are so sometimes stagnant. Sometimes it might be that you just need to really like sit with this or process it fully, and that's why it's still showing up here, kind of in a sense laying dormant in the subconscious part of this reading. There's not a whole lot of action here. There's more of a like sort of a deep feeling around something. And the Temperance card is very exciting. So, you know, you're really leading up to some sort of an alchemical process now, where you transmute all of this rest, all of the missed opportunities, or the crunch of time kind of going against you, or that narrowing of the passage of opportunity you perceive, as well as this funk, okay? So all of those somewhat uncomfortable but maybe necessary foundational pieces that have been happening for maybe a little longer than you would like are in fact leading you to a process of ascension, a process or time of feeling more blessed, feeling more at peace, feeling like you're in the swing of something. I don't necessarily think that this takes off in like this rapid speed where you're going from 0 to 100 all of a sudden, but it certainly seems to be at a pace that feels healthy for you, good for you, and not that you're in control of it, and I don't think you're seeking to be in control of it. I think it just unfolds in a very harmonious way. So you're about to enter a period of harmony, mind, body, and soul. And the mind, the Four of Swords, the body, the Four of Wands, and I guess that Four of Cups is something that's quite a soul-felt energy at this time for you. And then the highest self is chiming in here with the World card. So some of you might be going through, this is Saturn right here in the corner, some of you might be going through a Saturnian transit at this time. For example, if your sun is in Sagittarius, you'll have recently been having a Saturn square to your sun. And if you're born a little later in Sagittarius, maybe anywhere from like 15 degrees of the sign onwards, you're going to be experiencing that Saturn transit square your sun in the next few weeks to months, because Saturn is, for as quick as Saturn moves, rapidly moving through the sign of Pisces now to make it to its ingress in Aries. And so you're either going to be experiencing a Saturn square to your sun in the next couple of months, or else you have just gone through a period of Saturn square to your sun. And what does that mean? Your sun is that chi, that libido, that life force. And Saturn can, especially by square, bring about a certain amount of challenge, trial, tribulation, and a frustrating uphill battle sort of a sensation might have been emerging or yet to emerge. Now, this is Saturn here as well in the Ten of Wands. So for those of you who have felt like lately you've been undergoing a sense of like, why am I being tested in such a way? Why does this feel so heavy, so frustrating, so clunky? And the other people that haven't necessarily felt that to its maximum strength or heaviness yet are very tuned into the fact that there are certain projects or goals or ambitions, and I think this might apply across the board to the Sagittarius peeps watching, that are going to require your stamina and for you not to give up. Whenever we're dealing with something like a Saturn transit, especially a harsher Saturn transit, it's often important to finish what we started before undertaking something brand new, or before placing or focusing our energy, which is oftentimes quite precious or used or feels very sparing during a Saturn transit. Saturn is the archetype surrounding time. It's Chronos. So there is this quality of, I have to take my time. Time isn't on my side. And there is a sort of like frustration with the concept of time for you. So you're very dialed in, I think, Sagittarius, that there is something growing, building. Saturn loves to create structure, which it has been doing with all these fours. There is a foundation, a pretty robust one, like I said. But there is an idea for you, and I think you're right on here, that I need to bring certain things completely to a finish, to culmination, before I'm able to really do whatever this Page of Coins is interested in doing next. So you want a new experience, you want to learn something or be somebody else or new or try something different. And it's important, I think, for you to close the cycles and close the doors behind you. And they might even be emotional doors that need to be closed. Maybe it's time to say, this is no longer serving, this grudge, this resentment. I'm going to, instead of projecting this sort of resentment or bitterness or frustration onto my upcoming future experiences, I'm going to learn how to close the doors behind me. And I think Temperance is really calling you to recognize that the flow and harmony that comes from that, well, does this look like something that's lighter than air? It's angelic, it's very benevolent, and there's something really wonderful and beautiful occurring around this eclipse for you at the end of the month. Now, you're not alone, and that's important to know, because in the environment card, it's a card of support, the Six of Coins. This is a card of equilibrium. Much like the Temperance can be about finding balance, this is already balanced, these scales in your environment. Does that suggest that there are people in your environment right now that could offer a hand, offer support, not just take from you, but equally give what you may need, be it financial support, be it resource of their own time, their business, or just like a helping hand with moving some boxes, or like kind of bringing you from here to there. There is a hand being extended to you in your environment to suggest that you're not alone with this unfolding, this process. There are people here that really want to help you. I'm going to get into all of this in the extended. This is catching my eye now. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Wands, and then the High Priestess, and then the Wheel of Fortune, but in reverse. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse is the fated consequence of what has passed you by up until now, at least. Maybe it's still to come for you, but I'm sure you're aware of what has eluded you so far, or you maybe has evaded you, the right word to use. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse can feel like a down on your luck on the surface, because I think what's dropping in a much more subtle but also very intuitive way is this High Priestess suggesting, like, have you looked at what this Two of Wands might mean for you, Sagittarius? The doors that are closing right now with this Four of Wands in reversal, that kind of archway looking door in the Four of Wands, just looks like it's separating, cut in two, and it looks exactly like these two arches of the Two of Wands. Have you looked at what is actually still an option? And I'm going to say options because of the Two of Wands. There are still other places to be, places to visit, and there are places to go for you, opportunities to take, and they have Mars and Aries. They have this promise of passion, and Aries energy likes to take action, and those actions are really rewarded in true Aries energy with Mars's exaltation, or no, Mars is at home here in Aries. So this is a comfortable kind of energy for you to start imagining yourself in. So where can you feel excited to begin? Where can you feel excited to say yes to or to accomplish? These are things that are not quite in the spread yet, but they're starting to emerge for you. The Hermit card is really, really important. So this is the final card of this reading, but like I said, I'll be jumping into a much deeper reading. Well, no, maybe not much deeper, but we'll be going deeper at least in the extended with an archetype and all of that. The Hermit card. Okay, before I finish this up, please subscribe if you haven't already. Like, share, comment, whatever you feel is a good idea to help this channel grow and show your support. I think you have a lot of support in your environment, so this is a great energy that you're in at the moment overall. It feels like it was just 11 minutes. No, it wasn't, because I ignore what I just said there. Anyway, the Hermit card. The Hermit card, it's the energy of Virgo. And so we have, so something was major for you. I'm not surprised around that Virgo eclipse. Whatever you're doing at this time in your life, Sagittarius, make no mistake that it is meant to be happening for you. Any moves we make, actions we take, ideas we have, people we meet, any encounters that occur during eclipse season are of the energy of destiny and fate and those kind of concepts. So the eclipses are essentially these kind of like gateways or doorways into the next steps on our path. So with this Virgo eclipse, I felt the energy of the Virgo eclipse from around the 12th of March onwards, but it could have been happening ever since the 27th of February, really. And to see this at the end of the reading would suggest to me that the moon will be in Virgo again, I believe around the 10th of April. So from around the 9th, 10th, 11th of April, a piece of the puzzle or a piece of this whole story for you really is going to make a lot more sense. You're going to have clarity. You will be able to, from this perspective, from this vantage point, review the situation with peace in your heart, with solitude. If you need more solitude, you're going to get it. And I think you've had a need for solitude or just time spent on your own. And every moment that you have had recently where you've been able to take time to yourself has really, maybe it doesn't seem so obvious, but it's actually been so beneficial for this whole process. And the Hermit card at the end of this reading just tells me that the click in, the clarity, the drop in of understanding and answers that you've been seeking to your questions are going to come through by the 9th, 10th, 11th of April, okay? And it'll all make sense. I'm going to get right into your extended Sagittarius. I'll see you soon. Bye.